Welcome back, boys and girls. We are in week 7 of our virtual learning classes. This is day 3. We are working on lesson 7, recounting stories. For day 3, our standard is RL2. Identify key events in a story. Understand the proper sequence of events when retelling a story. Recount a story by telling only the most important details from the beginning, middle, and end. Our learning target is retell or recount stories from around the world by telling key events in the order in which they happened. Our academic talk words are recount, setting, sequence, events, character. When you recount a story, you are retelling the story in your own words. Be sure that you include the key details and events that happen in the beginning, middle, and end. Tell the events in the sequence or order in which they happened. Recounting a story, retelling the story in your own words in the sequence, beginning, middle, end. Let's practice. Read this story. Think about what happens at the beginning, middle, and end. Then reread the story. What are the most important details? Our story to start us off is A Bundle of Sticks. Long ago, a mother had 3 children who were always arguing. Your arguing sounds worse than the clucking of all the hens in the world, their mother told them. She wanted them to stop. One day, she got an idea. She gathered the children around her. Then she took a stick and broke it. See how easy it is to break one stick, she asked. Then she tied 3 sticks together. She asked each child to try to break the sticks. None of the children could break the bundle. The mother told the children, "We're just like the sticks. When we don't stay together, our family is weak. When we stay together, nothing can break us apart." The children understood. From that day forward, they didn't argue as much. Let's recount this story, boys and girls. Remember, when we recount, we're telling it in our own words from the beginning to the middle to the end. In the beginning of the story, what happened? That's right. A mother wants her children to stop arguing. What happened in the middle of the story? Right again. The mother shows her children that one stick breaks easily. Then she shows them a bundle cannot be broken. Let's think about the end of the story. How does this story end? Yes, the mother tells her children the meaning of the sticks. The children do not argue as much. Good job, boys and girls, retelling this story in the order that it happened. Our story for today is Brother and Sister, a folk tale from Korea. It's helpful to recount stories after you read them to make sure you have understood what happened and to recall any important lessons the story may teach. Today, we will read a story that is a folk tale from Korea. First, you'll read the story to understand what the author says. Then, you'll reread the story to identify the most important details. Long ago, a brother and sister grew rice to sell. Through the long summer, they worked together to care for the rice paddies. In the fall, they harvested all the rice and put the rice into bags. Each got the same number of bags. After one harvest, the brother announced he was soon to be married. The sister knew her brother would need money to buy a new house for his bride. She didn't feel the rice was divided fairly. So that night, she took an extra bag of rice to her brother's house in secret. The brother, too, felt the rice was not divided fairly. His sister had a large family. She would need more rice. So that night, the brother took an extra bag to his sister's house in secret. The next day, the brother and sister counted their rice bags. Strange! Both had the same number of bags as before. So that night, when the moon was full, they made another attempt. In the moonlight, the brother and sister each saw the other carrying a bag of rice. They laughed. The mystery was solved. If you'll notice in our sidebar, our close reader habit says, underline the sentences that tell the key events. Go back and look at the underlined sentences, boys and girls. This will help us to retell the story. How do you choose which details to include when you recount a story? To decide whether a detail is important, think about whether the story makes sense without it. Let's recount the folktale Brother and Sister by adding key details to the chart below. In the beginning of the story, a brother and sister grow rice and sell rice. They each get the same number of bags of rice. In the middle of the story, the sister thinks her brother will need more money to buy a house, so she secretly brings him an extra bag of rice. The brother thinks his sister will need more money to take care of her family, so he secretly brings her an extra bag of rice. What happens at the end of the story? That's right. In the moonlight, the brother and sister see each other, they laugh, and the mystery is solved. Let's review. When you recount a story, you are retelling the story in your own words. Be sure that you include the key details and events that happen in the beginning, middle, and end. Tell the events in the sequence or order in which they happened. Remember, our recounting a story is retelling the story in your own words in sequence, beginning, middle, end. Boys and girls, we have made it to day 3's exit ticket. It is a short response question. Which details from the chart do you think are most important? List them and tell why you chose them. Here's a hint. What details would you need to help a friend understand what happens in the story? Boys and girls, you can find this exit ticket link beneath this video. Remember, you need to write your retelling of the story in complete sentences. All the details from the charts that you consider most important, list them and tell why you chose them.